So tonight, 2 News exposing housing problems that remain months after an apartment fire. Tonight, we're getting answers for the people who find themselves handicapped by housing. Pam Elliott on assignment to investigate the situation that centers around safety. It's new at 6. Pam.
Well, imagine being forced out of your home by fire and ending up in housing that's a fire trap. Such is the case for at least 2 people in Greene County. After a November fire forced more than 60 people out of their homes at Walter G. Sellers Apartments in Xenia, the management had to find places for their tenants to live. At first, Rusty Hull lived with his sister, but her home was not handicap accessible. So the Wallet companies put him in the Foxglove Apartments, also in Xenia.
I agreed to this because I didn't know at the time I didn't know what to do.
Turns out his unit at the Foxglove isn't handicap accessible either.
Even if they take the door off, I still can't get in there.
Hull's wheelchair is too wide to allow him into the bathroom, so he uses a small pink tub to bathe, like the ones you see at hospitals. And that's not the worst of it. Hull can't get out of the apartment if he has to. There's no ramp.
I'm not going to take a chance and try to, fall and try to hurt myself, because big as I am, if I fall out there on the ground, I'm stuck.
I called Xenia's fire chief to let him know it appeared Hull wouldn't be able to escape a fire here.
This is Joe Mullican, he's deputy chief.
It didn't take long for Chief Rigsby to arrive with his deputy chief.
All right, we'll see what we can do, and we'll get.
For starters, the chief told me he'd make sure that the dispatch system would include a note that there were handicapped tenants living at Foxglove.
Being a handicapped person, yes, he needs a ramp. But there's no code that says because he's in a wheelchair, you have to have a ramp.
Margaret Harold, who also lived at Walter G. Sellers at the time of the fire, feels trapped as well.
I got a wheelchair that's electrical, and I used it a lot. I could go down and do my laundry and go to the bathroom and take showers and take my trash out.
Things we take for granted.
Yeah,
I know.
And here I'm just stuck day after day.
The manager at Foxglove told me she didn't know about the challenges of the displaced tenants, but Wallach did, so I called the company's spokesperson.
It's been a difficult situation finding accommodations that are workable for everyone, and at the time, it was the property manager's thought that he would be interested in being in an apartment where there were all the facilities of a home as opposed to just a place to sleep.
That's because it could be months before Rusty Hull is allowed to return to his home. However, with attention from 2 News on assignment, Hull has choices.
Our property manager is going to be contacting Rusty to see if he'd prefer to stay at one of the hotels instead.
But it sounds like he has more options today than he did yesterday, for instance.
Yes.
Margaret Harold's family has contacted the county for help to install a ramp in front of her apartment. When I asked Wallach's spokesperson who would pay for that, she responded, probably the taxpayers. We'll let you know what, if any, improvements are made. Reporting live, Pam Elliott, 2 News on assignment.